What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the Team Gradelock's channel. I am one of your hosts, the AlphonZeus.
I'm your host, Henrico from the Market Watch.
And I'm that guy that shows up once a year in a video, the Mama John.
Alright, so we're back again doing another podcast video. This time we are talking about our reactions and afterthoughts to the Cardfight Vanguard presentation that took place a couple days ago. We had a stream on it where we had most of the Team Gradelock fanbam in the house that was reacting to this announcement of OverDress and everything that happens. So we're just gonna divide up the podcast into three segments, which are our initial reactions. Then we just say the facts of what was revealed in that presentation, and then the aftermath of like, okay, where do we go from here? So with the initial reactions, I guess I'll start here, and then we'll go to Henry, and then go to John. So I think you could see the expression on my face as they start revealing stuff about OverDress, from the anime to the new cards and way that the format's going to be warped. And to be honest, I got hype. I was really happy to see this new direction, that it's not like a reboot, but it's more of just a sequel that takes place far into the future or something like that. And then with the overhaul of how they approach the format, and of course we'll get into more of that in the facts section of it, whether it's like, you know, the ride deck, clan nations, what have you. And I think what got me hyped more than anything would be the anime, just because of the direction that they're taking it, where it's all brand new characters. Those are my initial reactions for that particular presentation, and if you want, you can check out the VOD on our channel just to see what's going on. So Henry, what are your initial reactions to this presentation?
All right, well, I'm not gonna be blunt. I'm gonna tell you guys the honest truth. So this is gonna be a complimentary sandwich where Alphonsus gives a compliment. I'm gonna give you the negatives, and then John's gonna give you the compliments. So
Okay.
negatives. I hate Bushiroad for doing another reboot. It's only been 2 years.
Okay.
I was against reboots from the beginning. I assumed Bushiroad wouldn't do it again, but of course Bushiroad is not dumb enough to do another reboot. I am not too happy with how the market is responding to the reboot. And so far at the moment, the anime looks pretty cool because I think it's a knockoff of Persona, in my opinion.
All right.
But I look forward
Obviously, you need to watch more anime.
Editing, don't worry. I guess we'll technically treat this live, but sorry. Henry, continue.
That's pretty much it.
Okay, just all negative. Market reaction, the reboot, whatever. Okay, cool. All right, John, what are your initial reactions to this presentation?
So I think we should preface something before we go on any further. So if you guys don't know, so what OverDress is Bushiroad is once again rotating the format. And by that, I mean, rather than having our initial, 24 clans, we're going to be having a format where there's only going to be 5 nations. And within those 5 nations, there will most likely be clan-based support based on those nations. So for those who are like unaware, if you've ever played something like Magic the Gathering, think something in that aspect. Or also similarly, the color system is in Force of Will. There's a similar synergy that goes on within those two systems. Now, I will say this. My initial reaction was fairly positive, actually. I'm still optimistic by the fact that what OverDress revealed is stuff that the community has been wanting for a very long time. And while I do know that Henry has his negativity toward the reboot, I would like to preface now in the beginning of the podcast that both the director and the president of Bushiroad did state that they did not want Vanguard to be a rotating format. Rather, this is the last type of rotation that they want to do. They wanted to try and conserve this format by any means necessary. So in that aspect, I understand why Henry would be upset that they rotated the format, but you also have to think in regards of they have a Band-Aid and they're just going to rip it right off. They want to get the pain done with as soon as they can. That way they can try and introduce new players and try and reinvigorate the community, because my initial reactions, right, were there's got to be something they can do to make sure that the game has a better livelihood in the years going forward, because at the rate they were going, I didn't see Vanguard lasting for as long as I would have liked it to last. But with something like a reboot in terms of thinning out the clans into nations, I think that's fairly positive. And honestly, I'm very hyped.
All right. So at least you have our different reactions to it, positive, negative, as well as with supplemental information that we received from Bushiroad as well as other sources as well. So now that you have our initial reactions, at least I'll try and quickly go down the facts of what was revealed in this presentation in case that you missed out on the presentation and this is pretty much your first impression. So one of the big things that was announced was the anime. Now, usually Bushiroad has produced anime in-house. So with Cardfight Vanguard, it's usually been memed on some of the Cardfight Vanguard groups and social medias. However, with this new Cardfight Vanguard anime, they are actually teaming up with one of the biggest well-known companies in anime. In this case, it would be Clamp. So they worked on Cardcaptor Sakura, they worked on Chobits, they worked on a whole lot of really iconic anime that people still remember to this day. And so by Bushiroad teaming up with Clamp when producing this anime, okay, they're going to take this anime into a different direction. So I guess for the summary,
well, at least we hope.
At least we hope. And since this takes place millennia into the future, there's going to be a new cast of characters involved. So, pretty much from the summary of what this is about, they take Yu Kondo. And Yu Kondo is 15 years old. He lives in Kanazawa City. He, makes delicious breakfast for his family. And then he gets caught up in his sister's hobby. And then pretty much that's kind of like his upbringing.
Breakfast.
Yeah, delicious breakfast. That's
reading?
Yeah, right. It's literally the summary, and then we see the next part where they talk about an amusement park where friends gather, and that's where he would go to the team that he would eventually know as Team Blackout. And so you have these other characters involved, and don't worry, we'll go through it once I introduce you what the anime is like. And so when they say dates to look out for, March 24th, special preview stream of episode 1. And then on April 3rd, episode 1 is up. And it'll be broadcasted. And so now we go into OverDress itself. So on Planet Cray, it's still Planet Cray, we go 3,000 years into the future. After Gizeh is destroyed, Messiah goes to sleep, and then we see the Dietis era begins. And so you see 5 nations show up on the map. Instead of Royal Sanctuary, United Sanctuary, we have Keter Sanctuary. Instead of Dark Zone, we have Dark States. Instead of Magellantica and Zoo, they merge together to become Soichea. Instead of Stargate, we have Brantgate, but we have Dragon Empire that has still retained its name over all those 3 millennia. And so, one of the interesting things that they put up with these clans, nations, is that they have consolidated the clans into the nations, and now the nations kind of have elements from each of the clans. So with Keter Sanctuary, you have the 6. With Dragon Empire, 5. Brantgate, you have 3. Dark Zone, you have 4. And then Zoo, Magellantica for Dark States, and then Soichea has an access to 5 clans. Bermuda Triangle is solo, and as announced, they are not doing any collabs, so it is pure mermaid idols. So that was actually an interesting takeaway from it. So what makes it interesting now, they showed a preview of one of the cards, and I think the card was like Chakrabarti, Divine Dragon, Nirvana. 2 things that show up. One, they showed that the D icon that shows that this is marked for OverDress. And also, when you look at the top left corner, you still see the grade 3 symbol, you still see the twin drive symbol, but you then also see the clan nation symbol, and that designates, instead of the gift of V format, as to what it was. And then you have what they have, the nation name. They don't have the clan name anymore. It's going to be the nation name, so that's why they call it Dragon Empire, and then their type of unit they are. Now, for nation-based decks, they have also revamped the way that the card types have been presented. So back in V format, we had your commons, rares, double rares, triple rares, VRs. They have nixed the VR. So they went back to the original where they just had commons, rares, double rares, and triple rares.
which I'm actually very thankful for, by the way.
Yes.
Like the fact that they took away something I personally believe that needed to be a 4 of in every single deck, and I think was only in like 6 copies per case, if we're talking like later V formats. Like that had to have changed. There had to have been some sort of difference in terms of the market flow there.
Okay, and yes, because of the change in the market flows, what we have here is also with commons, boom. And so with the triple rares, double rares, and commons, for Buddy Fight, yeah, shout out to Buddy Fight. They're gonna have chances that you can get hollows, so like double rare foilings for both rares and commons. Shout outs to Buddy Fight. So I thought that was an interesting tidbit, especially with the way that some of the things are going with having multiple rarities of the same card, whether it's like promo or box hopper, that type of thing.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Yes.
I think it's gonna increase the value of sets. I think it's gonna increase the value of case splits.
It gives people more incentive, like if they like a certain clan, they can invest heavier by getting hollow versions, which is nice.
Exactly.
I think that's one thing from Buddy Fight that we take away from it in terms of a positive aspect is that certain people liked certain builds, so they went all out and blinging their deck. I mean, take Dan for example, right? He wants every single foil card of Hero World. So he's like, oh, let me just do that because I love Hero World. So if you love a part of Keter Sanctuary, there you go. Bling out your deck, or if you like a certain part of Brandgate,
you're gonna drop more money. That's why I'm excited. I'm excited to buy out all the hollow comments for Brand Nation.
I'm gonna be excited to get foil triggers that aren't like super much.
Oh yeah, that's super expensive. Yeah,
but maybe they are. I don't know.
We'll see how it comes with the I guess the distribution. But these are all very exciting factors, especially when people go into case splits, because it's like you can get if you just want common stuff, then like you can pay this price. But if you want play sets of the foils, that can also be a little bit of a premium as well. And that kind of helps a lot with how people will make money or make their money back from getting cases. So,
did we talk about the DSRs, by the way?
No, not yet. Oh wait, the DSR, the delete. I'm sorry, is it delete?
No, it's the brand new rarity.
Oh, I did not talk about that yet.
I believe in the notes there is a new rarity called DSR or like DVR or something like that.
Okay.
Which I'm not sure what that is. I don't know. Do you guys know what that is? Is it like a new form of a rarity, or is it like an alternative art of a pre-existing card? It's just a shinier version.
Yeah. So okay. I'm sorry. I overlooked.
And if they haven't
note.
announced it, I mean, I'd like to know your thoughts.
They have DSR, which is Dress Secret Rarity. It's a rare and ultra valuable card that every booster will have. So I think not every booster, but I think in every booster box there is going to be a DSR.
No. In every box there's going to be an SP. That's what they said.
Every box an SP. Okay.
Which is insane, by the way. Can we just say that?
Yeah.
Every single box is going to have an SP. And I think if you look at the set, Alphonsus, it'll say that there's going to be 40 SPs in the set as an entirety.
That's good.
Wow.
Yeah. But like,
like I said, it's gonna give more incentive for people to buy boxes. Like I said, like all of this is gonna give more. It's gonna make people want to buy more boxes, buy more cases.
Yeah.
So resellers out there,
absolutely.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
So like, okay, if it were me, right? I personally think that the DSRs are gonna be just like an alternate art of like a super shiny card. So like maybe for this first set, right? It's gonna be UU's Ace monster card that we don't, at the time of this recording, we don't know the name of.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing the DSR is gonna be like a shinier version of that. Like it's probably gonna be like, it'll have its triple rare version. Because come on guys, let's be real, it's gonna be a triple rare. It's gonna be a triple rare. It's gonna be the triple rare version of that card. Then it's gonna have an SP version, and then it's gonna have a DSR version. That's my guess. But I mean, it could be completely wrong.
Yeah. I guess DSR is it's like almost everything can be like I guess it's 3 types of rarities. It reminds me of Contact Collection from Weiss Schwartz, or the way that Bermuda SP higher rarities go with like SP, SSP, and an SSP like stamp marker on it. So I think by extending that out to everybody, then everyone can have their own version of max rarity, but then also acknowledging that there is a max rarity where it's gonna happen, but it's like the ultimate flex, but then when you get beat up by like a $4 starter deck, that's gonna be funny.
Which, by the way, I don't think we talked about. Can we talk about how the trial decks that are coming out are $4 each? That's crazy. Yes. That's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And so, I think I might have said this. I'm sorry, Henry. I'm just gonna. So I might have said this in the in our initial discussions of what we thought OverDress was, right?
Yeah.
But my hope was that there was going to be some way that we could reintroduce players or introduce players into the game, right? And a $4 trial deck sounds like perfect, you know, because like who doesn't have $4 to throw at a trial deck and just try out the game and see if they like it?
Yeah.
Or if you're a returning player and you don't feel like, okay, well, I need to spend, because like if I think like in G format, right, where like a G deck was like $100 plus. To get, like, 16 G deck cards.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if someone quit there and then, it's like, oh, if I want to get back into the game now, I have to spend that much money. No. Just spend $4 for a trial deck. Try it out. See what you think. And I think that's great. I think that's amazing.
I think it's great too. I think it's again another incentive to make people want to play the new Cardfight Vanguard. So with this information, it's not a secret. I already spoke to my distributor about it. He said he could care less if people find out about it. So from my distributor, I'm getting the trial decks for $3.50 each. And unfortunately, he put like in big words, highly recommend to sell these for only $4 each due to Bushiroad.
Yeah.
And then I asked him, I was like, by any chance, can you tell me what's your profit margin for buying these from Bushiroad and selling it to us? And they said the profit margin that they're making is 25 cents each. So they're getting the trial decks from Bushiroad for $3.25 each and selling it to us for $3.50 each. So they're only making quarters on each trial deck, which is crazy. So yes, this is kind of minus for distributors, but again, the main point of these products to be $4 is to again bring back the community, to make the community want to play the new Cardfight Vanguard without spending that much money. So unfortunately, there will be resellers out there selling the trial decks for like $4.50 or $5 each, including myself. I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna sell the trial decks for $5 each because again, it's just extremely minus to just make a profit of 50 cents each. But again, guys, trial decks are going to be $4 for us no matter what. They should be $4 at your local TG store, possibly $5, but if they're selling for more than $5, highly recommend to blast them or report it to Bushiroad. Because again, these notes are going everywhere. My distributor told me every distributor is being told to tell their stores they have to sell it for $4 each.
Okay. Well, at least with the hard cap on like how starter decks are going to be sold, at least they can see that this is not going to be the product that they're going to make money on. This is just something to help people get in the door so that you have the maximum amount of people as you can that would buy into the booster set one.
It's interesting that you say that too, because you also have to think of the overseas market. I mean, I know we're just talking about the American market, right? But you also got to think, you know, how much Europe is going to be selling it for, how much. I know there's like Latin America. They sell it also at different prices too. So you got to think of like all the different profit margins. And I understand, right, that you know, as a vendor, you're only making a 50-cent profit margin, which is detrimental. But I think in that aspect, it's less about them trying to make a profit, right? And it's more so them trying to, again, gain interest once again in the player base. And then based on the people that are interested, you know, that's when you start saying, okay, now we have booster sets for them too, and then you buy into the booster sets.
Yeah, and for $4, there's a lot of stuff
for
that
$4 for $4, right? There's a lot you could buy for $4, and who's like, you know, can't try out a game for $4.
Yeah, I think when you don't have to worry about like you can pull out a link and like, oh, I'll get a George Washington back. Like, all right, this is actually okay. It's not that bad. I still have like something, and then if anything, you can just like, you know, resell it to a friend or somebody new, and then like, hey, you want to try this out? $4, and that's pretty much it. And so that's going to be a start, and we'll see what happens when the trial decks release in May. So going into one of the bigger things that was revealed there that kind of almost killed our team name was that they introduced a ride deck, where you take 4 cards, including your starter, and that becomes your ride deck. where
Yes, that's amazing.
it
I mean,
fixed
okay,
Gradelock.
okay, it fixes our problem, but it takes away our identity. We are no longer, we can't be called Team Gradelock because people won't know what Gradelock means anymore. Although, actually, they will in Premium because I don't think we get the ride deck in
Yeah,
Premium.
V Premium and Premium, no ride deck. No ride decks.
So now people are going to come to us like, oh, Gradelock, that means they're a Premium channel. Now, hold on a second.
Yeah, right? I was like, wait. I love Premium. I like playing Premium, but it seems like we're just keeping up with Standard right now.
You want to know what's funny, Al? Is
Yeah.
that, okay, so before they announced everything,
Yeah.
I didn't have an interest in Premium. I honestly didn't. I
Yeah.
just played what was fun with
Yeah.
everybody. Like, everyone liked Standard, so I just played Standard, right?
Okay.
But, like, now that it's nation-based support, I don't know, there's something about it that's getting me excited to replay Premium again. Like,
Yeah.
like just the other day, I took out my old Graham Blue deck and I started, like, looking through all my old Night Rose stuff, and I'm like, man, I miss playing Night Rose. Why don't I try and update this with some of the new Stoicheia stuff that's coming out? Or it's like, you know, make a Genesis deck out of Keter Sanctuary. I think that'd be really cool. Can you guys give me a second?
Yeah, no worries. You're good. So, one of the interesting things about how the ride deck was introduced in the Standard, I think this is Bushiroad's first step, because I think there were so many surveys that were sent out, or so many player reactions and tournament reports. They say like, okay, what happened? And it was like, wait, why did you lose against this favorable matchup? You should be able to stomp this guy. Gradelock. And it was just like that's kind of like the quality customer service answer is be like, how did this happen to you, man? You should have won that match. Gradelock. It's kind of like the equivalent of saying, yeah, some people suck, and that's like that's the only other way that a favorable matchup deck can lose to their to a matchup that they should have had access to for like the win. I don't know.
Did you
I'm
guys
just
hear
trying to
all
do the
that
most.
banging and stuff?
Yeah, don't worry. I'll see how I can edit it, but
So,
it's
I apologize.
yeah, it's all good. So guys, just don't worry. We're all doing the
It's,
podcast from our different
Mom doing some
rooms.
cleaning.
Yeah, so don't worry, guys. It's all kind of live. We'll get edited together, so you see the realism that we all have what our lives too around us. And so so with the Q&A with the ride deck, so the ride deck's only in Standard. Sleeves for main deck and ride deck, you have gotta keep it the same. Oh, wait, no, we use separate. Okay.
Ride decks have to be different. from the
Yeah,
other deck.
yeah. The sleeves for
have
the
to be
main deck.
different,
Yeah,
yeah.
the
The sleeves have
sleeves
to
for
be
the main
different.
deck and the ride deck
Which
must be
is so
different.
funny because that's like
Yeah.
that's kind of like a. I'm sorry, I'm getting. I know I'm
Yeah.
going to show my age in this, but it's kind of like a throwback to back when it's like, Bushiroad allowed your starter to be in a different sleeve,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so like I would always do that too. I'd be that guy.
Yeah.
That,
So okay.
man, my internet is so dumb.
Yeah, don't worry. John, you can just take it from so I'll be that guy that, and then you can continue from there.
Okay, I'd be that guy that would make sure my starter was in a different sleeve, so that way
Yeah.
I wouldn't mix it up with my deck at the end of the game.
Okay.
And then Bushiroad had ways to like, I think it was like when Gear Chronicle was introduced and they can time leap your thing back to the bottom. They're like, nope, now everything's got to be in the same sleeve.
Yeah.
But now with the
Yep.
ride deck, it throws back to like, nope, okay, make sure they're all in
Yeah.
a different sleeve.
Yeah.
Which actually with time leap, that'd be very confusing.
Yeah.
Oh
Would
god. Oh god.
Oh my goodness, yeah. It brings back old memories, which is always it's always nice, but it's not like the predominating factor. So it's like, okay, still new, but still has those references. For cards placed in the ride deck, what happens if they have to be placed in other areas? If you have to place in the main deck, the said card will be placed back to the ride deck instead. For other zones, so that means like if say like ride.
Oh.
Yeah, if you have to place it in the main deck, said card will be placed back in the ride deck instead. So when say if I have to soul blast out a card from my ride deck after I ride like grade 2 or grade 3,
Oh,
instead
so
of
we
going
go
to
back
drop,
your ride deck.
yeah, I'll go back to ride deck.
Wow.
Yeah, for other zones, the cards will be placed in the zone instead. So that means that
I
okay.
didn't know that. That's interesting.
Oh wait. It's just if it goes back in the main deck, then it goes back to ride deck instead.
Exactly.
But if
you were to time leap with it,
Yeah.
it doesn't go back to the deck. It goes back to the ride deck.
Yeah, but I can soul blast it out to drop zone. It could get bound. Okay, so those are other zones, but only if it's main deck. That's reading explains. And then we have, does the number of cards in the ride deck count towards the total deck count? Yes, it does. So that means that the ride deck and the main deck has to equal 50. And then must the copies of the same card in the main deck and the ride deck be up to 4? I'm like, yes. That means there only must be 4 copies of the same card total. So you can't have like 4 copies in your main deck and then 1 copy in your ride deck. You have to have 4 total. Then copies of the same card in the main deck. Wait, let's see here. Oh, okay. Can I put only grade 2 cards in my ride deck? No.
No. It's gotta be a 0, a 1, a 2, and a 3.
Yeah. So it's not like people who try and do like, oh, I have a grade 2 for every situation. No.
Which is funny too, because like I think in the initial our reactions, we thought, why would there be 4 cards? 0, 1, 2, 3. You start out with a 0. That doesn't make any sense. So it's a 4. Oh, we're gonna get a grade 4. But then they later specified, no, the 0, 1, 2, 3. The 0 is your starter.
Yeah. Okay, and so this kind of helps clear up questions, especially for people that was wondering like, okay, what's this ride deck going to do? And then as we leave the ride deck portion, we go to the over trigger. And so the over trigger is introducing the newest, strongest trigger card. There's over trigger for each nation, so there'll be 5 over triggers total, and only 1 copy of this card can be included, which is understandable because when it's revealed for a damage check, so say damage check over trigger, you get 100 million power and nullify that damage. Then if you happen to check it while you're drive checking it, then you get 100 million power and then an additional effect on top of that. And then they'll reveal more information later on. Wow.
I don't know how to feel about this. I really don't. Okay. I don't like the fact that there is a super sack trigger in this game. Especially when, again, I'm showing my age here, but like, when we talked about, I think it was like the transition from Legion into Stride, we were like, how can they make it even better? And I remember some people initially talking, what if we make some sort of overpowered trigger that like healed a damage, stood your rear guard, gave it a crit, drew you a card, and gave you like a lot of power. And I'm just thinking to myself, Bushiroad would never do that. That just seems really powerful. And here we are, like something 5+ years later, introducing the over trigger, guys. It's a 1, and it's a 1 of per deck. So you know if that gets damage checked, you are a sack. And if you drive check it, you're more of a sack.
But then if you just draw into it, you just be like, can I put this back in my deck?
Can I put it back in my deck?
Basically. So
yeah. Okay.
from my perspective,
That means you're just unlucky, Al. You're just so unlucky. You draw into it.
So from my perspective, again, I'm gonna be the -1 out of all.
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah.
Bro, I'm there with you. I'm gonna draw that thing every single time. And like, we're gonna go with Baldwin, Modesto, and they're just gonna get it like every. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know what the problem is. I'm gonna drive check it. I don't see what the problem is. I'm like, because you guys are.
Basically. So again, our ages are gonna show here. But we've been playing the game for so long, where we've heard all the complaints. Oh my god, my opponent healed on 6 damage. Oh my god, my opponent double critted me. Now here's gonna be a new one. Oh my god, my opponent just got 1 million power in the damage. I cannot wait.
It nullifies the damage. It nullifies the damage.
So it's like a heal trigger on top of that.
Yes, Al. Sounds like you're playing 5 heals now. Like, what is this nonsense?
So there's gonna be more gambles in Cardfight Vanguard, and there's gonna be more complaints, which I'm going to read about on Facebook. Because honestly, guys, I love reading your complaints on Facebook. It's the best in the world.
Although I will say this, Henry. Some of my best times or more of my memorable like regional experiences, right? It's like when you're walking around the tables, right, and you see like there's these 2 guys that are still fighting, right, and you're like, oh man, they're being really competitive with one another. And like, you know, it's like that thing happens and everyone starts gathering around and they're watching the games and it's real back and forth. And then the one guy, he goes in for the killing blow. The guy, he checks the heal trigger. And then everyone goes crazy. Everyone just loses it.
Yeah. And those moments are always the interesting start. But then
like those are some of the more memorable moments.
Yeah.
They're kind of like the more hype moments. So I get it. They want to like introduce like hype. they want to hype things up.
Yeah.
But come on, man, 100 million power. That's just a little crazy.
They just want to say like,
I'm
we
not
want to make
about
sure nothing gets through. I'm like, Booster's like, I'm sick of people's here and rear guard powers going for like 150k. I do not want to hear that ever again. So you know what? We're gonna put in 100 million power. So when you damage check it, and just be like, all right, I'm done. Like, yeah, I'm done. Or you can
feel like I just feel like OTT is gonna abuse it somehow. I don't know.
Oh
how they're
yeah,
gonna abuse it,
I was
they're
gonna
just
be like,
abuse
oh,
it.
here's a trigger. I'm gonna put.
Because like when I think
top.
of stacking triggers, I immediately think of OTT. I know I shouldn't think that anymore now that there's Keter Sanctuary or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know.
It's gonna be
I
fun.
just think
Like,
OTT. Oh, and Genesis too, but no, OTT primarily because they're the trigger stacking deck. They foresee the future, so they're like, I foresee me sacking against you with my 100 million power.
Like, Keter Sanctuary, every single deck in Premium and V Premium is gonna have access to that stacking power, so they can just be like over trigger, or just be like, all right. Oh wait, I accidentally soul charged my over trigger. I'll use Genesis. All right, Himiko. Soul blast out my over trigger. All right, so we have. I'm gonna choose.
Oh no, Himiko doesn't do that. Himiko is just draws and crits.
Oh, draws and
yeah,
crits.
It has to specifically be draws.
Okay,
and crits.
all right.
But they do have decks. They do have decks that allow you to like stack the trigger on top.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Because I was gonna.
They have like that
go
restanding. They have the restanding Regalia unit, so it's like restanding Regalia unit with 100 million power and like 5 crits. Deal with it.
So you can see how power games can just go like, all right, the numbers game would just make you feel like Zach Galifianakis in the first Hangover movie. It's just like, all right, all these numbers going through my mind. All right, so with the $3.99 decks, of course, $4 starter decks, going to be out May 14th, 2021. And so we have all 5. So when it was on the stream, when we watched it some time ago, they did it first with the 3 decks and then the 2 decks. So for English, we're getting all 5 starter decks at once on May 14th. So the characters in particular, we have Yu Yu Kondo for Dragon Empire, the new Aichi, Danji Momoyama from Dark State, so he's kind of like the bro Chad from freaking Bleach, I guess. You have Toya Ibata rocking Keter Sanctuary, who pretty much is like Gilgamesh. I don't know, that whole, it's very, very, very big. And then you have Megumi Okura for Storchea, and then you have Tomari Seto from Brantgate, which people already claiming wars on.
The civil war going on in the community.
The civil war, like I seen Different Fight and Solemn Vanguard repping their waifus and just be like, I got this. And then I just see oh my god, I can't believe I'm starting to forget his name. It's the over. Oh god, I can't believe it. I just talked with him like a few days too, cause
you know his channel name?
Yeah. I was like, the channel name is starting to.
There's Vanguard Insider. There's
not just
WCC.
Not WCC. He was the guy that. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. The guy that organized Cardfight Con.
Winning Image.
Winning Image. Yeah. Winning Image. Sean.
AKA Honey Badger.
Yeah, he posted like, "Hey, all you guys rocking Megumi and Tomari, you know what? I gotta rep my boy Toya, Keter Sanctuary for life." And I'm like, oh my god, we have a 3rd+ team. Like, everyone's starting to rep. Like, they're saying like it's a waifu war. I'm like, wait a second. There's like 3 husbandos in this thing. We gotta throw them in, and now people are gonna rep them too. And so now you have like all of these wars coming.
Dragons
through.
are my waifus.
Yeah, right.
Stick with dragons.
And then like, I don't know who's gonna be repping Bermuda, but right now our icon is a whale, and
it's you.
It's a whale.
It's you. Although you're not a whale, you're not whaling for the nation anymore.
Yeah, I'm not whaling for the nation anymore. Man, those first 2 clan boosters, I bought 2 clan. I bought a case of the first 2 clan boosters because I thought, oh, this is awesome. And now it's just like, okay, I gotta calm down here. I gotta calm down here.
Oh, who knows with your fancy schmancy lawyer job.
Oh yeah, right. I'm gonna
go back to those habits.
I'm gonna come back.
I would advise against it. As an avid gacha game player, I would advise against it.
I'm gonna come in the court with like, I just see like Bermuda SP deck spelling out my counselor.
Please don't do that. Please don't.
I know, right? Yeah.
Bermuda stuff.
I can bring
no
it.
one will take you seriously ever again.
Like,
I know that.
I know. It's just gonna be like, this is my off time. I'm like, all right, I respect that.
Henry, how much you bet he's gonna go into a court case with a laptop and he's gonna have Bermuda Triangle stickers on his laptop as a lawyer?
I bet you $50.
I got it. All right, so moving on. Going to the first booster set, we have the Genesis of 5 grades. So pretty much from here, we have 120 new series cards that are going to be in there. 10 types of triple rares, 15 types of double rares, 30 types of rares. They put double rares twice. And
yeah,
then,
they missed the typo.
And then they put 65 types of commons. Then you have 2 types of DSRs, 2 dress secret rares.
Oh, 2 dress secret rares.
Yeah,
okay.
2 dress secrets rares, and then you have the 40 SPs, and then of course the remainder like 50 hollow kinds. And then you have 1 token card. So whatever that token is, we're just gonna have to see. And
I'm gonna say I'm gonna be the proponent right now. I'm just gonna flat out say it's for Stoicheia, because they're probably I feel like if anyone plays token based stuff, it's Stoicheia, because you have Neo Nectar tokens, you have markers from Grand Blue, you have Bermuda's doesn't exist in that.
Grand Blue has treasure.
Like they have
treasure stuff.
Treasure stuff. Yeah.
So like I feel like if anything, it would they're probably gonna be on the token.
Yeah.
But that's just my prediction.
Yeah, it could be Stoicheia. Also Dragon Empire with like say Kagero, Vision token, and Nubatama.
Yo, that's true. Yeah. I forgot about the Vision token.
Yeah, so Dragon Empire also has access to those as well.
But I feel like if anything, they're gonna go back to the good old retiring and binding and that Kagero or Dragon Empire did.
Yeah.
Who knows? I could be completely wrong. Yeah. It's a protagonist clan. Protagonist clans have been known to completely change the clan.
Yeah, so we'll see what Yu Yu Kondo will bring to the table. And speaking of that, first time we've seen the protagonist rock a Dragon Empire. So, because we had Aichi for Royal United Sanctuary, or now Keter Sanctuary, and then you had Chrono for Dark Zone, in which is the case Gear Chronicle, and now Dragon Empire gets their MC.
You had Kai in Legion format.
Practically also had the shop owner.
Shin, and he rocked
Shin, and he had Genesis.
And he had Genesis.
Yeah.
That's true. I guess like when it comes to that, the new character, or at least in this new age, then we're starting off with Dragon Empire, and then see, I guess, how long it's gonna go like that. And
hey man, I'm all for it. Yeah. I'm all for it. I think most of my decks are Dragon Empire decks anyway.
Yeah.
So if that just means more general support for all the decks I already play with, I'm all about it.
And at least like it also helps reduce the amount of sets that one would need to go into if you need like cards for it. Because I do have Oracle.
Well, here's the thing, right? Actually, that poses a very good question, Alphonsus. Yeah. Because the way I see it, right?
Yeah.
And of course, Henry, you can interject with this because you know booster sets more so than I do. If you guys look at the product schedule, right, it looks like at the current moment, every 2 months, we're going to be getting a booster product for OverDress format. And I'm of the assumption that it's going to be every 5 clans or nations that is going to be supported every single time a new set comes out. Whether it's for a certain archetype, though, we don't know. But I'm going to guess, every single time a booster set comes out, of course, all 5 nations will be supported, but it'll be different archetypes per set. No, I want to know your thoughts, actually, Henry, on a bi-monthly release schedule. Like, is that good? Is that bad? Obviously, though, I think with that being said, I remember there being, premium and V slots being put in every subsequent month.
Yep. Okay, so first things first, I just want to say, the number one thing that I wanted Bushiroad to do with booster sets was to make them a global release, which means everybody gets the booster sets at the same time. But no matter what, we're always going to be behind overseas, which is fine. I mean, it's not a big deal. But the reason why I want the booster sets to be a global release is so that our market cannot be
predicted.
Yeah, predicted. Like we control, like we can control more of the market. I know a lot of you guys are going to say our market doesn't always copy prices overseas. Well, they do, actually. They do more than 50% of the time. And like I said, I just want things to be a little bit more different, but it's fine. You can't get everything that you want. Now, for booster sets coming, it looks like, what John said, it looks like main booster sets will come out every 2 months, it's good. I mean, it's better than last year. Last year we had booster sets coming back to back or 25 days later. I do wish Bushiroad would, like I said, give us at least a month break, or at least Bushiroad takes her time setting up the next set. Me, I'm not that too much of a fan of a company always pushing out product every month, that wants to push out product every month, because that just means potentially they might get sloppy once in a while. You know, they might not affect it as much as possible. But with that, yes, it looks like every 2 months we will get a main booster set. And so far at the moment, in between the booster sets, we're getting a festival collection, which is another box for standard format, which is going to support D format. I'm assuming it's going to come with reprints and a few new cards. And at the moment, we're getting a full premium set. We don't know if it's going to be a revival collection, or we don't know if it's going to be a 2021 premium collection. We're not too sure yet. Hopefully, it'll be another premium collection. Because to be honest, guys, if you guys know me, I'm not that happy getting more reprints in Cardfight Vanguard, because of course that just destroys the value of cards. But hopefully, we get another premium collection 2021, and I'm assuming by this summer we should see the new product stream, or maybe it's late on like winter. I don't know.
Probably later.
Yeah.
Maybe if anything, maybe like a month after the initial release of the booster set.
Yeah. So at the moment, we're gonna get product every month. But again, main booster sets every 2 months, and in between we're getting a festival collection and a premium collection, and who knows, maybe they might give us trial decks or an expansion set.
Yeah, there's always like the extra, especially with the way Bermuda and collabs go. But I guess we'll just have to see with more information that will go off of there.
I mean, I know you're not you don't like reprint sets, Henry, being the vendor, but like for me personally, I actually really do enjoy reprint sets. It's because, if I missed out on a deck and it's competitive now, I either have to spend a lot of money or I'm not playing the deck. Something that I think I personally like in terms of if we're comparing it to other card games, right? What I like about Yu-Gi-Oh! Primarily is how they kind of release their sets. Mm-hmm. It's very confusing.
Yeah.
They'll normally have a core set, and then in between those core sets, they'll have reprint sets or special editions. Now, I know that Vanguard won't necessarily copy-paste what Konami is doing, because even Konami themselves, right, their distribution in the OCG is different from their TCG. But for now, Bushiroad is just copy-paste. Whatever they do in the OCG, they print out in the TCG, with a few exceptions. So I hope that we can actually change from that completely. I hope that we as a TCG will get different sets, not necessarily different cards, more so different sets.
Yeah, I like it.
That reminds me of the OG sets where it went 1, 2, 6, 7, 3, 4, 5.
That was a disaster.
Yeah,
that was a disaster.
All right.
They released. They released.
They released sets 1 and 2.
Yeah, they released like Spectral Duke before they released the end.
Yeah.
And everyone was playing Spectral Duke. It was like, oh my god, just Spectral Duke. Nothing but Spectral Duke. Only Spectral Duke.
Yeah. If you don't know, you probably should look at some of the older stuff that we had on the channel, or just see the timeline.
So old,
of what it was like.
I feel so old.
Guys, we are that old.
Yeah. Like legit, like 10 years ago, I wasn't even like, I didn't even have my bachelor's degree yet, and now I'm just like, all right, well, this is where it is right now, because now I'm like looking for jobs as an attorney. It's like it just
10 years ago, Alphonsus didn't have a mustache.
Yeah, right?
John also. I don't have a mustache because I can't grow anything. So.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, I'm probably gonna shave after this.
Yeah, right. All right. So I guess with the way OverDress is presented, how it's going to look, you have our takes on it. You can feel free to comment down below as to what you think about the format is, what points you agree or disagree with, because we'd love to just chat and hear you guys out. And since there was a good amount of you folks that actually stopped by the first live stream we did when we reacted to Bushiroad's announcements, I think when they do announcement stuff, I'll boot up a reaction thing on my Potato laptop and just kind of join you guys as we just watch and behold, like, okay, what's Bushiroad gonna do next?
I think it's like half of them are like, oh, do you guys speak Japanese?
Yeah, right.
No, we're We're just
assuming.
Yeah, right.
assuming here.
Yeah, like Alex had different fights stream up, and he was just like, oh, okay. He was kind of like, oh, that's what it is, and I was just like, I can read out most hiragana and not a lot of kanji, and I was like, how is this translated to? I don't know.
I can understand pictures. I see those pictures. Those are nice pictures.
Yeah.
Good job, Bushiroad.
Yeah, right.
Yo, but then I think one hype moment for me was like when the new director came out, and then he just started talking English. It's like, we know we have English viewers. Relax, there will be a English presentation on Friday. I'm like, yo, man, this guy's speaking English.
Yeah.
We got someone in Japan that speaks English.
Yeah.
What is happening?
It's getting there. I think they just realized, like, okay, overseas market, it's a big market. It's a big market, and taking care of your market will take care of you, and that's how it usually goes. I guess now that I guess any last thoughts before we go? Because I think we got out like our reactions, got the facts out, our reactions to those facts, as well as like what do we look forward to the
We
future.
didn't get our reactions on we didn't give a response on the 3 formats that Bushiroad is going to do.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay,
That's
so
very
we
true.
at least we can cap off with that. Because are there any other topics that because we talked about the cards, the clans, I think just the formats.
Yeah, just formats.
Okay, so just the formats. All right. So from the facts that were presented on Bushiroad's Cardfight Vanguard website, there are 3 formats. You have the standard format, which is only overdress stuff. You have V Premium, which is only the V stuff, and then you have Premium, which just includes everything.
Chaos.
So, yeah, absolute chaos. Now, from what you saw on our prediction stream before, as much as I was thinking they're probably going to create a new format, if not, then I could see standard premium thing. It worked out somewhat, but then by splitting the format into 3, yeah, you're gonna have some backlash on that. Like, I feel bad for people that bought into V when V seems like it was going to be just the continuing standard. But at least with the way that V was going, when you starting to see as cards were starting to look the same, like the Grade 3 Searcher, the kind of like how the VRs would be unique and kind of keep in with the theme. They can only stay within the theme so much that, okay, like we have to do something with Protect Gift, we have to do something with Excel Gift.
And if I may interject,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Al,
go.
you began to notice it was becoming less and less about clan identity, and basically all of the clans doing the same exact skill. Make multiple markers, attack multiple times, reride your Vanguard, restand your Vanguard. It's just like, it was just always a different flavor.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, they're unique because of their clans, but the way it was going, it was completely botching that.
Yeah. And so that maybe splitting into 3 formats, that can be like, okay, we can try and interject the biggest hurdle for creativity that we won't reach it so quickly. And by combining all the clan nations, that's what I thought. I was like, okay, clan nations, then people are gonna be like, okay, is Dragon Empire is gonna be for Nubatama or more Kagero focused, or there's going to be the same amount of cards for each clan, but it's gonna be like, okay, what's more identity focused as well when you go into like the subcategory.
I'm gonna make a bold prediction at least.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the initial trial decks
Mm-hmm.
and maybe the initial booster set will try to experiment and have like a little bit of each clan in those nations.
Yeah.
So maybe you'll have a little sprinkle of Kagero mixed in with some Narukami, and a little Nubatama right in there for good measure. And then similarly with Keter Sanctuary, it's like, okay, we'll do some Shadows, we'll mix in a little Royals, maybe some OTT, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So that way people can experiment by mixing certain aspects of certain clans, which would be great, while at the same time still catering to the people where it's like, I'm still that OTT main through and through, and I only want to play OTT based cards. They still have it.
At least that, like, for premium, for standard, at least after the first 2 sets or so, a lot of the decks may look the same, but at least as sets start to come in, then you're starting to see more of not only the nation identity, but also with like the specialization within each nation, and that is probably looking in terms of the long game for me. So Henry, your take on how these 3 formats now are established and all that.
More negatives.
Okay.
Alright, so first things first, it's not gonna last. I highly doubt standard V is going to last for a year. It shouldn't. Remember, guys, when they did the last reboot, they said there's gonna be G, premium, then standard. And look what happened to G Premium. That only lasted a year. It was gone.
Yeah.
So most likely, the same thing's gonna happen with Vanguard V. That's going to mainly last for a year. Because let's be honest, guys, premium is always going to be our eternal format. And honestly, guys, a lot of people that I've been talking to, a lot of them are looking forward now to premium. A lot of people are looking forward to making different spicy deck choices, deck techs, all that stuff. So a lot of us that hated premium beforehand and said, "Oh, I'm never going to play premium," they're all going to play premium because premium, they're keeping your cards relevant.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I haven't been this excited for premium in a while. I'm excited to play premium.
Exactly. We're getting more and more people excited to play premium nowadays.
And I agree with you. I definitely agree with you with the V. Like I made okay. If you like V, that's completely fine. I understand. Right? Everyone has their own opinions. Me personally, I don't like V format. And I'm happy to see V format go, and I will not be playing V premium in the future. I will if I go to a Spring Fest, you'll see me play standard and premium. That's it.
That's it. Just standard and premium. That's it. As for tournaments, of course, we're not going to have tournaments this year. Well, I'm sorry, BCS events this year. But again,
an online thing. I think they have like an online thing happening.
Yes, that actually we should also talk about that too.
Okay.
But yeah, so local TGC stores, they're going to be implementing 3 formats in the tournament, but I guarantee you guys, no matter what, people are just going to go for premium and just the new standard. As for the online tournaments,
yes.
I think that was a great idea from Bushiroad. Bushiroad probably should have done this the first time instead of handing out pieces of paper saying congratulations. Really happy that Bushiroad looked into this, and so far at the moment, if you guys can, reach out to your local TCG store owners and tell them, sign up for the online tournament. Sign up for it. It's good business. It's going to bring in old players and new players.
All right, guys. So get those numbers ready, because believe me, the online tournaments is definitely going to help, especially with keeping the community alive, even in the face of the pandemic right now. Hopefully by June we'll see at least a glimmer of hope, and then by the end of the year, all right, we'll take what we can get. But at least with that in mind, okay, I guess now everything's been talked about. I'm sorry, I'm trying to make sure that I was just like, is there anything else more that we can talk about? Like, any last words or thoughts? I guess we'll start with John, then Henry, and myself. So last thoughts.
I'm last.
That was last? Okay, all right, John, any last thoughts from you?
Last thoughts. Everyone should play Dragon Empire. Dragon Empire is going to be the best deck. If you're playing any other deck, that's wrong. You should feel bad about it. And Henry's taking pre-orders on just Dragon Empire stuff.
Kappa.
No, yeah, Kappa. No, but in all honesty, I am so excited. I don't know, like, when V was initially announced, I was excited because, you know, I personally wasn't as much of a fan of the strides and the overall sack potentials that Stride had. So I was like, okay, I'm optimistic with moving into V format. And then initially it was okay because, like, it slowed down the game state.
Yeah. And
you know, it was more back to that simplistic form of Vanguard that I really enjoyed. And then it got out of hand real fast, and then I just lost all taste for it.
All right.
So now with the announcement of OverDress, I think I'm even more optimistic than I was before then. Like, I see so much potential here, and I have so much hope, and I'm super hyped. And I cannot wait to see more cards that are going to come out in the future, and more cards for all clans, you know, nations, regardless. I'm just excited, and I'm optimistic.
All right. And then my last thoughts, I hope that this will help solidify it. At least with this is the first time I heard when the president, Bushiroad, and the director say, like, okay, this is the last rotation we'll ever do. I'm like, okay, we'll hold you to that word.
We're gonna hold you to that. Absolutely.
Yeah, we're gonna hold you to that word, because we are the ones that love playing this game. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this podcast. If you want to see more and see us like stream more on YouTube with just reactions and stuff, I don't know if we can do like just like either just online casual play tournaments or something like that. It seems fun because it's just nice to actually see, like, all right, there's people in chat, like, all right, let's keep going with it. So it's fun, and I do like having more interaction with the community in that like real time sense. So I guess that is it for this podcast episode. I am the AlphonZeus of Team Gradelock.
Episode? We're episodes now?
Episodes, maybe. I don't know. It's just specials, I guess, because we did our 3K podcast, then we did the overdress prediction, and now we're doing the overdress reaction. And I guess like
tune in next week, guys.
Oh yeah, maybe
Exciting Team Gradelock podcast.
Yeah. So I am the AlphonZeus of Team Gradelock.
I am the Mama John of Team Gradelock.
I'm Henrico from Team Gradelock, and I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are being safe, and I hope to see you guys always next time.
Deuces.
Deuces.
It's my thing. It's always my thing.